From idea in one's mind to the billboards of Toronto, companies such as Bell Canada, Ogilvy, and Lash Vision heavily rely on sales process of advertising to thrive.
The agenda for today is to go through the current processes, the best practices, and what to look out for in two specific channels of sales for agencies. As well, we'll finally look into the shifts in industries and speak to how agencies should respond to these.
Let's begin by taking a look at the sales process when clients put out open calls to agencies. Often brands would put out a request for information, or RFI, where clients are seeking for agencies to pitch them, similar to a job posting. Effective RFIs allow the first meeting between clients and agencies to focus entirely on the task and personalities at hand, rather than agency credentials. Sometimes RFIs are open to the public, while others are invitation only. After agencies complete RFIs, the client draws up a long consideration list. Meetings at this stage are considered chemistry meetings. These meetings enable the client to give agencies a better understanding of the partnership at hand, while giving the client an impression on how well the agency fits with their task. They are picked through collected and provided information. A short list will be created through this process. At this stage, clients are often far along in the buying process and have a concrete idea of their needs. It is common for clients to prepare a full brief for shortlisted agencies. This brief may contain information such as the client's expectations from the outcome of the pitch, a description of the work expected from the agency, or what a future relationship would entail. Following the brief, agencies put together information to address what the client is looking for and present it. This could be anything from previous case studies to their initial take on strategy. The two sides will later set up subsequent meetings to discuss potential partnership. Finally, the client will decide on the winning agency. As you can learn from the process, before the sale is completed, the client gets the opportunity to know the agencies really well on a personal level. This whole process can take anywhere from a few weeks to up to half a year. One successful agency and company partnership developed through an open call pitch is Voss and Addiction. In 2010, Voss advertised its open call through Ad Age. After initial contact, Voss gave 50 agencies the brief before shortlisting 35. And after 4 months, Voss announced its agency partner to be Addiction New York, who would help develop their brand. Open call pitches are just one avenue in which advertising partnerships are formed. Another common practice is for agencies to proactively initiate contact with clients.
While cold calls are a good way to get into contact with different potential clients, the best practice is warm calls. People from past work experiences, relationships built at conferences, and other connections should be the first people who are called upon. As indicated by Peter Leviton, a business development consultant for small to medium-sized advertising agencies, these are the best practices for client outreach. The first step is making yourself visible. Since marketing executives at large companies are bombarded daily with calls and emails from numerous advertising agencies, it is vital to stand out from the crowd. Before making a call, it is important to make sure that the prospect is somewhat familiar with your company and your work. This can be done through sending focused emails or media toolkits over a period of time with ideas that provide value to the prospective client's business. By doing this, you can use tracking systems to see if the client has opened your email and browsed through your website. This tactical outreach ensures that the client has an idea of who you are. Building networks can also be done through visiting conferences that potential clients attend. The best way to gain visibility is to speak or be on the panel. The next step is pre-call research. This means understanding the prospect's industry, company, and people, discovering some key issues facing the company, preparing evidence of past solutions with similar issues, and searching LinkedIn or other social media platforms for common contacts. Scott Monty, former global head of social media for Ford, stated that 90 to 95% of the people who approached him didn't do their research. Prospective clients have likely received many similar calls, and not knowing the client's business needs is detrimental when making a first impression. These are some free data tools that can be used to do pre-call research. The first is Google Trends, which tracks interests in specific topics over time, for example, Pepsi versus Coca-Cola. The second is Facebook Analytics and Topsy, tools which indicate what consumers are saying about a brand and who the key influencers are on social media platforms. The third is eMarketer, which offers valuable up-to-date reports in areas such as industry trends, demographics, social media marketing, and more. And lastly, Consumer Barometer, which uses Google search history to find how consumers are using search in their buying process. As an example, we researched relevant information for an agency attempting to reach out to a cosmetics company by finding out how women under the age of 25 with a medium income first heard about the makeup products they bought. These were the insights that we found, which could easily be applied to a prospective client's business.
After you have sufficiently done your research, you're ready to move on to pre-call planning.
The first step is making sure that you have specific call objectives and a scripted opening. Also, in the case that no one answers the phone, have a scripted voicemail message. Remember that timing is critical. Don't call on Monday mornings or Friday afternoons. Try to catch your contact when the assistant or secretary is out, or have a plan to get through a gatekeeper. It is important to be friendly and have a clear reason for your call. Lastly, be ready to respond to a range of reactions. The actual call is extremely important. This is where the pre-call research is applied. An essential aspect of the call is the storytelling. Agencies need to have a compelling story to explain what the agency does and to articulate their strategy. Part of the story is being able to talk about past works and experiences. An agency scout at Mondelez said, "The bar is just as high for small agencies as it is for big ones. Great work is every agency's best calling card." Once a pitch has been made about what the agency can offer to the client, a good practice is to invite the client to the office. This allows the agency to showcase projects that have been worked on, providing further proof of what the agency has to offer. An office visit also aids in solidifying the relationship. At this point, potential clients may see a need for the agency service, but be wary about using or committing to the agency. To overcome this, many agencies offer a free strategy session or free consultation. Another way is to give a first-time discount to clients. 26.2 found this to be extremely helpful in building partnerships with Home Depot, Coca-Cola, as well as smaller startups. This process may not lead to a deal right away, as the client may not have any active projects for you to take on. However, it can help you remain top of mind and ensure a future long-lasting partnership.
In the recent decades, agencies are becoming less content creators and more like brand consultants, expected to bring strategic ideas, be data-driven, and develop core insights for the businesses. These increased expectations stem from trends such as client in-housing agency functions, increased technology and data availability, and growing complexity in the traditional sales channels, with organizations using media buying agencies as intermediaries. So how can a small agency combat this harsh environment? 17 out of 33 agency experts say the biggest mistake an agency can make is hiring the wrong people. Taking a look at the job description for account handlers of small agencies, who are essentially the agency's main salesperson, there are not many that require business literacy. A study has shown that while 88% of organizations say they speak their mind, only 36% of agencies agree. On the other hand, when 90% of agencies say they understand the business's needs, less than 65% of clients agree. Miscommunication for fragmented knowledge is something that a small agency cannot risk, so HR are a main priority for small agencies. So here are some questions you might have. What are the pros and cons of each method?
For initiating contact with companies, a lot of time and effort must come from the agency. Doing research and generating leads can be a lengthy process. In addition, not all warm calls lead to partnership, or even a conversation. However, there are benefits to initiating contact, as a salesperson can control the questioning and discovery phase, having the opportunity to revive the sales process. Furthermore, though the relationship may not lead to a deal right away, referrals may be made by the company contacted. In terms of open calls, the time needed to prospect customers and the allocation of resources is much more efficient. However, because these open calls are often done by larger companies, they can be quite uncommon. The sales cycle is very long and can be quite costly. In addition, complexity can arise due to high competition.
What is the agency's biggest challenge in the sales process?
The agency's biggest sales process challenge is gaining trust and creating an environment where clients feel heard. According to a study by USA Today involving 150 senior-level agency and brand marketing leaders, it was revealed that 98% of agency executives and clients agreed that trust leads to great advertising. Questions that are conducive to creating such an environment are: what is the number one result you want? What is important to you? And what is frustrating about your current situation? Make sure that you follow the 3 I's. Ask about their issue, the impact it's having on their business, and how important it is to have them solve the problem. Other challenges are client objections such as, "We have a limited budget," "We can't fit this in our timeline," or simply, "I don't know the answer to your question." In order to combat these issues, it is important to run through the NBAT, or Needs, Budget, Authority, and Timing questioning process to save time in the discovery phase and figure out exactly what the client's restraints are so you can promptly address them.